Dear students, in this video, we are going to carry forward the discussion on very important terms included in vector algebra. In the last video, we studied about modulus of a vector, unit vector, and equal vectors. So let me give you a brief recall for that. Every vector is represented like this. This is a vector where it is a vector quantity. Okay, so every vector quantity has got two things that are associated with it. One is its magnitude and the other is its direction. Fine. So now let us discuss what do we mean by modulus and unit vector. I am making you recall once again. Modulus of a vector is represented by enclosing a vector in two lines. This means modulus of a vector. Modulus means we are talking about the magnitude of a vector. Okay, so talking about the magnitude, we discuss modulus. Unit vector means direction of a vector. And modulus means magnitude of a vector. Now you know that every vector quantity is actually written as magnitude and direction as a combination of both of them. So if you want to specify direction in a mathematical way, because earlier you used to specify the directions as along north, along south, along east, along west, but what if you want to specify the direction very, very precisely? So in that way we introduce direction. See, direction can be written as 1 into direction, or it can be written as 1 and the direction along with it. It's going to make no difference. So basically this is now becoming a unit vector whose magnitude is 1 and there is a direction also. This is a representation of a vector quantity, magnitude and direction. So direction is actually equivalent to a vector. I told you people that every time whenever you are representing a vector, you need to write magnitude and direction. So what if you want to convert direction into a new vector? So direction can be written as a vector, 1 as into direction, where 1 stands for magnitude, direction is a particular direction, and this new vector is known as unit vector, whose magnitude is 1 and direction is in the direction of a particular vector. So why this discussion is important? First of all, unit vector is represented as a cap. Every vector quantity's unit vector is written as a cap. Okay, so that unit vector is representative of a direction. For example, if this is a vector quantity, now this is made up of magnitude and direction. Magnitude is represented by writing modulus and direction is represented by writing a cap. So every vector quantity should be represented like this. So magnitude and direction, where magnitude means modulus, direction means unit vector. So this is about modulus and unit vector. Now you need to know something very, very important, that a vector quantity can be represented in terms of components, and whenever we are writing components we often use I cap, j cap and k cap. What is I cap, j cap and k cap? I told you people that whenever this cap occurs, we have a unit vector. A unit vector is a vector having magnitude equal to unity and a particular direction. So when these are unit vectors, so they are basically representing the directions only. So which direction is this, which direction is this, and which direction is this? So the Cartesian system of coordinates you all must be familiar. So x-axis y-axis, z-axis. These are the standard system. Cartesian set of coordinates is a standard set of coordinates and it's a standard axis. So the direction which is directed along x-axis is known as I cap. The vector which is directed along y-axis is known as j cap, and the vector which is directed along z-axis is known as k cap. Fine. So now a vector can be written as anything in the form of components. I am taking an example, 2i cap minus 3j cap plus 4k cap. It's written in the component form. I'll explain it later in details. What do we mean by that? Okay. So suppose I have asked you to find out the modulus of this vector and to find out the direction, the unit vector of this vector. So when you will be finding out the modulus for this vector, how will you go about it? Modulus. So to find the modulus, take square root and then take the square of the first component, square of the second component, square of the third component, and eventually add all of them under the root. So this becomes under root 4 plus 9 plus 16. So this becomes 13 plus 16 under root 29. So this is coming out as the modulus. This is coming out as the modulus. Just give me a second. Okay. So this was the vector, and you have found the magnitude of that vector. Now how will you find out the unit vector? We know that every vector is written as magnitude into direction. Remember, magnitude can also be simply written as a, okay, not putting a vector sign over it. That also represents magnitude. So basically there are two ways of representing the magnitude. Either put two lines on the vector like this, and or you can simply put a over here. So after that, see, if you want to find out this unit vector, what you can do, a vector divided by modulus of a. Keep this unit vector over here, take it over here, and this is the final result for finding out unit vector. So this was the equation. How will you find out unit vector? A cap, a vector is 2i cap minus 3j cap plus 4k cap. I have written it as it is, divided by modulus of a vector, which is under root 29. So this becomes 2 by under root 29 I cap minus 3 by under root 29 j cap plus 4 by under root 29 k cap. So this is the value of unit vector. So this way you can solve. I am giving you one question to solve. Kindly answer quickly in the comments or whichever way you like. So solve this question. If a vector is 3i cap plus 4j cap minus 6k cap. So tell me what is the value of modulus of the vector and what is the value of unit vector. Clear? So solve it and give me the answer. After that, we are going to discuss few terms that are closely involved in the study of vectors. Term number 1, what are negative vectors? So what are negative vectors? Suppose you have a vector over here, a vector, and what if you want to find out the negative of this vector? The negative of this vector will be the vector which is having the same magnitude as that of a vector, but the direction is opposite. So this is minus a vector. Fine. And after that, what are co-initial vectors? Those vectors which have their starting point as the same point. Like if this is a vector, this is b vector, if they are originating from same point, they will be known as co-initial vectors, which means the vectors which are sharing the same initial point. After that, we are going to discuss collinear vectors. What are collinear vectors? These are the vectors which can be of unequal or equal magnitudes, but they are acting along the parallel lines. Like this vector and this vector, they both are collinear vectors. This vector and this vector, they both are collinear vectors. This vector and this vector, they cannot be collinear vectors. So the only condition which is required for the collinear vectors to exist is the existence of the vectors whose directions are parallel to each other. Fine. After collinear vectors, we have coplanar vectors. What are coplanar vectors? The vectors that are existing in the same plane, they are known as coplanar vectors, which share the same plane. Next is localized vector and non-localized vector. Localized vector is the vector whose initial point is fixed, and non-localized vector is the vector whose initial point is not fixed, which is a kind of a free vector or a rotating vector. So these are very, very important terms which are related to vector algebra. Okay, so we started our discussion from equal vectors, and then we ended up to non-localized vector. Thank you.